Okay. Hello, hello. You can hear me, but you cannot see me. Look at this. Would you look at this? Okay. Funny story, you guys. I was just through the tail end of part 9 of First Kings, and I even shuffled to go grab my laptop charger, plugged it into the wall, made sure everything was plugged in so my computer didn't die. Nonetheless, it did die just as I was wrapping up the earlier live. Oh, turns out my switch was not on, my light switch, which controls the power. Anywho, let's go ahead and actually do this part 9. I was going to share this document in a separate video to just make it easy for us to comprehend this section in First Kings. So why not, since we are a little bit shorter on time, get the 2 birds with the 1 stone. Okay, we were just discussing birds earlier, not to impose any violence on those birds there, but we're going to go ahead and tackle this all together. So as I'm reading through, if you want to go ahead and read through along with me, obviously I'm going to read through part 9 of First Kings, and this graphic is going to just help us differentiate what was going on, because we cover a lot, as you have known. Okay, in First Kings we go through a rapid succession of all the different kings of both Judah and all the rest of Israel. Okay, we learned that Solomon and his lineage, David and his lineage have Judah, and then here we go, Jeroboam, right? Jeroboam took over all the rest of Israel at the time. And a lot of the names are duplicates and they sound familiar and similar to each other. So this graphic is really just going to help us distinguish the 2 of them and, kind of separate what was going on. And I can explain things too, because I know it looks a little bit all over the place, but it will make sense as I read. Without further ado, let's start out with a quote here. "There is so much good in the worst of us, and so much bad in the best of us, that it hardly becomes any of us to talk about the rest of us." This is Good and Bad, attributed to Edward Wallis Hoch, 1849 to 1925, but disclaimed by him and to many others, so technically it's an anonymous quote. But this is, how true is this, right? There's so much good in maybe some people that aren't so high up on the ladder, and there's so much bad in some people who are very high up on the ladder, big popular figures. So it hardly becomes of any of us to talk about anyone else and their good and bad. So we know that the Lord has our hearts. He knows the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, inside and out, our souls, what they look like, our hearts especially, right? What they look like, what every thought and every mind and every word is like in the eyes of the Lord. That's something for Him. So being able to access the Lord and uncover yourself in that process is very, very important. Unfortunately, that's not what these rulers and these kings decided to do. Their hearts were all over the place. They did not remain loyal to God, the one that brought them out of Israel. They had lots of different gods, bringing them in from other nations. They have, of course, the Baal and the Asherahs. We talked about the idols that Jeroboam had set up. Rehoboam as well. Everybody had their faults, and honestly it did start with Solomon, creating these alliances with everybody else, and brought a lot of the faiths and the religions together under one roof in Israel. So let's go ahead and begin, and we are going to learn about the good and the bad without going into too much detail about everybody. It says here, chapter 15, "In the 18th year of the reign of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, Abijah became king of Judah. He committed all the sins his father had done before him. His heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God, as the heart of David his forefather had been." Okay, and let me just go ahead and confirm something. Hopefully it didn't start too late here. Oh, we're all good. So after Solomon and Rehoboam, we have Abijah. So we start here on this cell C5. Okay, that's just where we are on Judah's side. All right, getting back here. As for the other events for Abijah's reign, and all he did, are they not written in the book of annals of the kings of Judah? There was a war between Abijah and Jeroboam. So Jeroboam forms lots of enemies with Judah, and the war begins. In the 20th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, Asa became king of Judah. Asa did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, as his father David had done. There was a war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, throughout their reigns. Baasha, king of Israel, went up against Judah and fortified Ramah to prevent anyone from leaving or entering the territory of Asa, king of Judah. So it jumps around a little bit. Again, it's one of those things. We cannot go into the detail that we'd like, as we did with David, as we did with Solomon, because of the rapid succession, and we're trying to cover a lot of these successions. So just to keep in mind here, we had Jeroboam and then Asa on the side of Judah after that. Okay? And it turns out that Jeroboam's son Nebat does rule after Jeroboam, and these circles means they're all from one lineage. So we have these circled families. These are just essentially one family. Asa's the same person all the way down. So after Jeroboam, we have Nebat, and someone comes out of left field, son of Abijah, which is Baasha. He is from the tribe of Issachar, and he overtakes the family of Jeroboam and kills everybody, including Nebat, in the line of Jeroboam. So we talked about the eternal square and how we had Solomon's family and Rehoboam and Jeroboam, and how their sons were going to rule kind of eternally, but Baasha over here from the tribe of Issachar puts a stop to that on Jeroboam's side. So now we have Baasha taking over all of Israel, while Asa still rules Judah and remains ruling Judah for the rest of this section here. Alright. I know it's confusing. I had to visualize it, or else I would have been so lost trying to explain it. Still kind of lost, but it helps to look at it. Okay? Nebat, son of Jeroboam, became king of Israel in the 2nd year of Asa, king of Judah, and he reigned over Israel 2 years, only 2 years before Baasha, son of Abijah, from the tribe of Issachar, plotted against him, and he struck down at Gibbethon, a Philistine town, while Nebat and Israel were besieging it. Baasha killed Nebat in the 3rd year of Asa, king of Judah, and succeeded him as king. In the 3rd year of Asa, the king of Judah, Baasha, son of Abijah, became king in all of Israel and Tirzah, and he reigned 24 years. So Baasha has quite a long reign. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord came through the prophet Jehu, son of Hanani, and to Baasha and his house, because of all the evil he had done in the eyes of the Lord, arousing his anger by the things he did, becoming with the house of Jeroboam, and also because he destroyed it. So this just confirms that Baasha did destroy the house of Jeroboam, but it was really a double loss, because Baasha did not appease the Lord in the Lord's eyes. He did not, worship solely him. The first commandment they broke along with Jeroboam. Okay. In the 26th year of Asa, king of Judah, Elah, son of Baasha, became king of Israel, and he reigned in Tirzah 2 years. In the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, Zimri reigned in Tirzah 7 days. Then Omri, and all the Israelites with him withdrew from Gibbethon and laid siege to Tirzah. So again, we're moving very fast, I know. I'm trying to cover everything in this section, and I know you get a little lost here, but if you want to go back and read exactly what, where, and how that happens, you're more than welcome. But we do have the son of Elah, but he is overtaken by Zimri, an official on the side of Israel, right? So it's his own people that overtook the son of Baasha. And then we have Zimri now ruling, and he gets overtaken by Omri, another commander of the military on Israel's side. So it's very interesting here how we have a lot of internal conflict between all of Israel, But the conflict kind of stops between Judah and Israel once we get to son of Baasha, Elah. The conflict between Asa and all Israel stops. It's more of an internal conflict. That's why we see these verses here that's going on. Let's go ahead and find out what happens next. All right. It says here, then the people of Israel were split into two factions. Half supported Tibni, son of Yanath, for king, and the other half supported Omri. So I didn't put Tibni on the chart because he doesn't actually reign. There was a bit of a split, but Omri does overtake him, and then it's just Omri who becomes the king, so I put him on there. It says, in the 31st year of Asa, king of Judah, Omri became king of all Israel. He reigned 12 years, 6 of them in Tirzah. As for the other events in Omri's reign, what he did and the things he achieved, are they not written in the book of annals of the king of Israel? So this is kind of summarizing the quote that we just spoke about. We have here all these kings, right? And we wish we could go into detail about their narratives, but it hardly becomes any of us to talk about them too much, okay? Anyways, here, in the 38th year of Asa, king of Judah, Ahab, son of Omri, became king of Israel, and he reigned in Samaria over Israel 22 years. Ahab, son of Omri, did more evil in the eyes of the Lord than any of those before him. So we wonder, these were the greats, right? They were kings, but there was so much bad in them. And I'm sure there was some good in some other leaders that are not even mentioned. But this is what's discussed in 1 Kings. It does is reminiscent of Judges just a bit, because we go through so many rulers in the span of 1-2 chapters. But we do see this here, the rapid the rapid succession, right? The circles represent relation, blood relation. Ahab the son of Omri, Elah the son of Baasha, Nadab the son of Jeroboam. And of course we have Baasha, and then Solomon, Rehoboam, Abijah, and then Asa after Abijah, all one family here. So again, just to give you a picture, very turbulent, right? Volatile, lots of things going on. Not so much Judah. Judah was pretty steady, right? Asa did please God in the ways of his worship and his practice. He kept everybody united within Judah. So notice how they didn't have that conflict that Israel had, right? Where there was lots of struggles for power, people killing one another, own officials and own commanders taking over for kingship. So there was a lot going on. We can attribute that, just like the Bible does, to focusing on too many things at once, or praising too many gods all at once, worshiping anything other than Allah or God, right? The God that brought everybody out of Israel and made them one nation, right? They were worshiping, the Baals and the Ashrafs, all that crazy stuff. Okay, so that is pretty much it. I hope the chart helped. I'm glad I was able to get that done in 13 minutes. We'll try to get into some more details about 1 Kings. We'll see where it takes us very soon. All right, have a good day, you guys. Thanks for listening.